life, and I won't look back ever again. You ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man, I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine. I'm never second guessing, I just do what I was destined. Cause I feel I got the blessing, persistence and obsession. That's how you keep progressing, I already learned that lesson, yeah. I'm changing who I am, I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving, you can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life, and I won't look back ever again. No fear, see clear, you deserve to be great. I know it feels like things get in your way. Push through those walls and the others will fall. Sit up, stand tall, you can get through it all. I need some energy, anxiety's no friend to me. I have a short memory, I don't really remember things. That's how I move on, that's how I stay strong. A new day's on, I'll keep moving right along. And I feel like the pain in the past, it needs to stay in the past. You gotta take off the cast. I wanna feel like I'm a new person. I wanna have clear vision and purpose. And I feel like the pain shouldn't last. If you can move on and past the things that make you feel bad, and you can change in your brain, I'm certain. I've done it before and man, I'm not perfect. I'm changing who I am, I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving, you can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life, and I won't look back ever again.
What it do? What it do? What it do? This your boy Gangsta Cap. You already know what time it is. I got the lowdown for the low now, and this is where it go down. Like, share, subscribe to the page, cause you already know this the number one spot on YouTube for on-air interviews and celebrity gossip. 101.1 The Bounce. We don't make the news, we just break it down. You already know what it do. What it do. Y'all know what time it is, man. Y'all know what time it is. OMG, man. It's time to break it down. Break it down. Let's break it down. Get the news out of town. Let's see what we got going on in these YouTube streets, man. Because y'all know we got to find out. We got to find out. If it ain't me, then it's somebody else. Mm-hmm. Let's see what we got going on in the struggle. The Bounce News. You know how we do. The Bounce News. So we got my boy Young Noble. Rest in peace to Young Noble from Montclair, New Jersey. One of the original Outlaw members. Died by suicide. His family cites depression and financial struggles, man. Now, one thing we know is depression is real. But I would have never thought in a million years that one of the outlaws would have took their own life. I ain't even gonna lie. Especially not Young Noble. He was just on YouTube, you know what I mean? I fuck with him on Facebook. We done chopped it up. He in my DM. He done told me holla at me. You know what I'm saying? Cool with my pops. All that. So, like, I would never thought. We'll be going through it. And I never thought, I know financial struggles make niggas trip out, bro. But damn.
That's what they're saying. It was his motive was financial.
They saying his motive was depression because of financial struggles. You know, you be on such a high, and then you start owing people money, you start going through shit. You realize,
I mean, financial struggles are people don't recognize that. I mean, we live in a world where we have to sustain ourselves financially, you know, and pressure, even on a low level, is a lot for people. It's about just knowing how to manage it. You know, people that don't have a lot of money are stressed out and probably will feel the same way as just as a person who has access to a lot of money and lose it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, see, but that's one of the main things, though. Why do people let money come between death and love? I don't understand that. I'm not letting money get me to the point where I want to take my own life, be so depressed. That's why I look at people that's homeless. Like they one thing that they got that we'll never have is the sense of happiness where they don't have no worries. Because
well, I mean, they got a lot of worries. They got a lot of worries that we don't worry about, like somewhere private to rest your head, somewhere clean to wash your face. I mean, those are a lot of worries.
Yes, but that's worries to the average person, but to most homeless people, they don't give a fuck about that. And most of the time, the reason they don't care about that is because, as far as they concerned, they just trying to.
But I mean, a lot of those people, it's a mindset. Right? Yeah, a lot of those people, you know, they first of all, it's a mindset. It's emotionally challenging to your thought process and how you feel. You know, because what may tick me off may not tick you off. You looking at it like, oh my gosh, you know, that's not a big deal. I went off myself. But people are really going through things emotionally, and then some things that happen to them are just triggering. You know, so financial stress could cause a person who's already at their peak to go over the top.
But that's why I said one thing when I was homeless and I was on the street. One thing I noticed about being homeless, like how we worry about taking a shower or we stink and we dirty. The average homeless person not worried about that
because they've already given up on a lot of things. Yeah. So the things that we're still holding on to, you know, for our day to day, like taking a shower, that's still a priority to us. A lot of those people have already gone through things and given up mentally and emotionally, and that's why you see it in how they live. People who are happy and got their wits about themselves are not necessarily sleeping on the street. They're doing things to keep themselves either in a hotel or in their car. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I know, but like, for instance, I had this one dude when I was working at 7-Eleven, and I was talking to him about how he ended up being homeless. And he was telling me how he ended up doing drugs because his wife was cheating on him, and he ended up going to the street doing drugs. But I kept asking, like, yo, you don't want to go back to your kids, your wife, and all that? And he was more happy on the street and was rather be on the street because he felt like he didn't have to worry no more. He didn't have to worry if she was cheating on him. He didn't have to worry about bills. He didn't have to worry. Like, it was almost like he felt like
he'd given up on
Like
everything.
everything that he was depressed about, he wasn't depressed about no more. Right. Because he felt like all the weight was all off his shoulder. Because being that nobody's looking for me, I don't have to pay no bills to nobody. I'm out here on the street. If I get $1, the dollar's for me. So sometimes that homeless person, it lives a better life than the average person that's going through the day-to-day struggle with bills and trying to keep his day-to-day life together. And because why? You are going to have, you're going to be more depressed in life because you have to sustain sustainability. You have to keep your life maintained. You got to keep food on the plate. You got to keep all this shit that keeps you, you know what I'm saying? Right. Keeps you in that box.
Position. Right.
To where, like, for instance, you know how many times you say to yourself, you say, I don't know how I stay sane. I got to do all this, da-da-da. When the average person who's living a bum life, they don't have to worry about that.
No, they don't have to worry about it because they've given up all of that thought process. They couldn't handle it. It was too much to go through a wife cheating for you, so you rather just give up. That's not me. What keeps me going is my children. I have a motive. Every day that I get up, I know that I don't want to be sleeping on the concrete. I don't want to be able to feed myself. I don't want to be able to like live a life of comfort. So I have the wherewithal to say that's my motive. So I get up so that I don't have to live like that. My mindset is different. I'm not running from anything. I haven't lost my mind so much to where I feel like I'm ready to just run away from it all. That's why I said it's a mindset. You're saying the person who is homeless is free, but that depends on who you ask. Because me, I'm looking at it that's not
But
very
what I mean
free.
by free, I mean free from fighting that depression. Because when like I said, when you have, like how you said earlier, I got a lot on my mind. I got a lot. You going through stuff because you do stuff. Your day-to-day process as what you got going on is way hard. So to you, it's easier to get depressed. Just like for him, he probably got so much day-to-day and so much shit that is on my weight where people was depending on me.
Mhm.
Now when shit start changing and your life expectancy change, and it's like, damn, the money ain't coming in like it was. Nigga, you start going through issues. That depression hits you way harder than these motherfuckers that's living worse than us. And and then we be having homes. We be going through the struggle,
No,
but these
I feel like
motherfuckers be on the street.
right, and they're not having a good time. It's not as fun as you think it is. And you just said, and this is out of your mouth, you asked, oh boy, how did you end up on drugs? And he tells you what happened in his life. His coping mechanism is drugs. It's not the life. It's not a picnic out here on the street. These people that are homeless have ran away from something and possibly have gotten drug addicted. And if they're not drug addicted, they're selling their body for something else, or they're going through something emotionally and mentally, or they're mentally insane. That's not the highlight of life. That's stuck in a trap of something that you can't get out of because your heart and mind has corroborated and you've lost for a long time.
So when Young Noble saying that depression and suicide led, they saying his death led from suicide and depression and financial struggle. Shit. And like I said, that homeless person don't have no financial struggles. That's the hard part about it. You don't have to go through it.
No, but we're all going through financial struggles. Like somebody said, a mortgage is not mandatory. No, but sustaining and living is. So whether you're living in a house that requires a mortgage, if you can't afford to pay it, then get you a tent, get you an RV. You know, sometimes you have to downsize your living. Sometimes you have to change your living lifestyle. And for a lot of us, it's not. Although we say it is change, you know, people don't adapt to it. Someone who's made a lot of money for their whole life does not want to go back to a 3-bedroom apartment to live. You know, like that's what I'm talking about. It is definitely a mindset because we're all going to go through something financially. We live in a world where we live through transaction and making money and trade and all of the above. It's not going to go away. We just have to learn how to live in it and mentally function through it. And it's the hardest thing to do. It's the hardest thing to do because it's stressful. We have like other emotional things going on besides just maintaining ourselves financially. You know, you're going through things emotionally and the finances throw you into a whirlwind to make you hard. But it's sad though. Financial struggles. But you know what? That's not new because we've heard a lot of people, you know, jump off of buildings or off themselves for different reasons because of financial. And sometimes it's, you know, who do you owe? You know, the pressure of the people that you owe may be having a foot on your neck. It may not be something so simple as a mortgage. You don't know how in depth people, you know, in the industry get just to sustain their life. Borrowing from other people who couldn't afford to lend to you in the first place. You gotta remember these celebrities and people in this entertainment life, they got way bigger bills than we do. So depression for us, that's when we got a $200 or $300 bill when we ain't ready for it or, you know what I'm saying, don't have the funds, you know, available. Imagine having these $100,000 bills. No, people can't take the loss. They cannot take the loss at all. And that's why I said it does go back to the mindset. We have an unhealthy relationship with money and how finances go. And what I've definitely learned in my life is I've had a whole lot of money at times, and then there was sometimes I was looking like, what the fuck did I do with all of that money? And we seem to look at it as finances are always, and we want this for ourselves, of course, but the truth is your finances are not always stable. And that's why you hear people say to prepare and invest and do other things that we don't tend to do so that we can avoid as many possible situations of taking a loss as possible. But when you do have to take a loss, people are not prepared for it. They are so far gone because they have lived a lifestyle of luxury, like I said, that they cannot revert to temporary. And even if it's temporarily, they cannot revert back to taking, a 3-bedroom apartment or a smaller house, or your kids not being able to go to that fancy school. They may have to go to a public school. And it's because we live off of things like image. And if you have money, you have a better image. You said his Bills party? His Bills party? Or you saying his bills probably was like 10,000 a month? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. When you look at people's houses and their cars, like yeah, it is probably 10,000 a month. And you forget that people get all of this stuff based on their current income to be able to afford it. And when you can't afford it anymore, that bill doesn't go anywhere. That's real life. Because you going through it and you have a loss of finances, they don't give a damn. And as many programs and as many times as they say they do, at the end of the day, they want their money. So your financial change is they don't want that to be their loss, whether it's a bill, car, mortgage, whatever it is. At the time you had the money, you agreed to pay for this item or this property or whatever it is you have. Now, because your finances have changed, their process doesn't change, and unfortunately, that leaves us in emotional strength because one, you've already taken the loss, and two, now you're going to have to downsize or change your lifestyle, which you weren't ready for yet. But that's what happens. I mean, it's like playing dice all the time. And like I said, if you think of how money comes and goes, and we're looking at the market now go up and down. People are losing money. People are gaining money. It's so much that's going on. So when you're thinking about how to gauge that shit gets hard. For me, I can't say that it's worth enough for me to take my life, but there was probably some other things that triggered him with that, with his financial struggle. You still right there? Holy shit. That takes forever. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's crazy. Hold up, y'all. I have to a few times. Hopefully, I need to let them. Can you put those in the fridge when you put that too? Yeah. I don't know. Think about that. Holy shit. Wow, and I just looked, it says that TMZ reported, or his wife reported, that he had been battling depression. And he took a firearm to the head the morning of July 4th. Wow. Wow. That's major. That's major. But I don't get that because I would never want. Ooh, that's tough because people are going through depression, and if a person takes the option to say, I'm going to be the one to take my life. Huh? Okay. Oh no, he would have been there. A house is most definitely for guests and enjoyment. You don't really, and you know what? I recognize a lot of things now. Once you purchase a home, and when I was young, I was all excited to purchase a home. I had grew up in an apartment, so I had always wanted to, be in a big home. But even since I've purchased my home to the age I am now, my qualifications have changed. Like the requirements for certain things are not a must anymore. I just look for the simple things. And that's why I say it's got to be a mindset because some of those things are hard for people to fathom. They're like, nah, I need like the biggest, the realest, the prettiest pools and acres. And then you realize it's not really about all that. It's the family that you have inside. And I've got a home, so I don't necessarily need a house. I could be anywhere, but that's hard for people too. When a person is depressed, they're in their own world. They're locked in, and even though people are saying, "Oh, we love you, we're here to help," they don't necessarily hear it that way. They're fighting a battle all on their own, and it's hard. It's really really hard. Hold up. What's that? Y'all gotta eat that pasta. Y'all gotta smash it. So y'all gotta smash that pasta. You sure don't. You sure don't. Those selling a home could be somewhere else themselves.
Well, that's for us.
Huh?
That's for us.
No. You just eating bread?
Food too.
No. What is that on the plate? Pasta? Oh, that's what I'm saying.
It's for us.
No, it's not. No, sirree.
Well, later for me.
No. No. You get in enough trouble. Shut up, Lane. What up, y'all? And you know what, Sue? I don't think we talk about suicide enough, especially in this day and age with the climate on how people are. Like I said, social media puts on a lot of pressure because you're watching everything from an advertisement to like regular people day to day flaunting how they live. Then you have people that are going through their own emotional things within a relationship, family, work. And we're forgetting that, just like Gangsta Cap just said, speaking to someone that was homeless on the street, you know, he said his wife cheated on him. To me, that's not enough for me to run away from my family and live on the street and do crack. To me, it sounds like you really just was probably doing crack and she had enough and moved on. There's so many different things, but that's not enough. But to him, it was enough for him to say, listen, I'm giving up. I'm walking away. I don't want any more obligations. I don't want anybody to have obligations to me. And that's it. And drugs is going to be my coping mechanism. We don't talk about, we just talk about when people are using, but we don't talk about the pressure that they're feeling so much that they don't want to live anymore. People are not comfortable with discussing that. Oh, you mean like at checkout time, like the hotels? Well, no, to them it's not worth it. 11 a.m. If you got to leave, it's not worth it because they're not. I mean, people are already at a disadvantage, so that's not something that's beneficial to them because they're right back on the street in the same position, and then they got to work up themselves up to get the same money they just paid the previous night before. But yeah, you never know what somebody's going through. People are ticking time bombs out here. We on our last straw as is. You see? Nothing else cute. So do you need to take it off? Already try. You can't take it off. Why does it look so black there?
Remember, that's the dye.
Oh. Hang in there.
It's not terrible.
Hang in there. You'll be successful.
I'll do the other hand tomorrow.
Oh, you said what?
I'm doing the other hand tomorrow.
That's laziness.
Go look at the time.
That's the time you decided.
You don't make hot dogs or something?
What? No, that was earlier.
Y'all made hot dogs? You didn't tell me?
Huh?
You made hot dogs? That confused the hell out of me.
That was earlier. Are they still on there? Oh, yeah, you can eat them.
I didn't know you made hot dogs. Oh, what did you do those hot dogs?
I'm gonna ask you very soon.
I know it's gonna be everything. And you said you didn't want to show me.
I was like, never mind.
Like, genetics don't work like that.
Mm-hmm. What time did you get up? You got up at 11:30? I mean,
1:30.
Yes, sir. I had to go get me some gummy bears, y'all.
You said somebody wants to be out for taco, when we some tacos.
Huh?
oh, she wanted tacos, remember?
Gas station is cold enough.
No?
It's 11 o'clock, 10 minutes to 11. Dude.
It's not like a joke. Is
They
that
call
for
out there
everybody?
and shut
Brian?
everything down. You didn't get no tacos.
No.
That feeds
You
the
know
family.
what I'm getting?
I said they were closing everything down. You're not getting no tacos. I got there. She ain't come out to 10:36.
By the time you would have got tacos, we would have been 11.
Thank you.
They didn't have none. They closed everything down.
Mama, you don't need to ask. Just take what you want.
I was asking him.
What's this is yours and what's his is what's yours is his.
Of course.
I don't share gummy bears.
Go what's yours is mine, what's mine is mine.
Got that money in your pocket.
Yeah, you know how this shit go, man.
Cereal? They're little ones. But I like them because they're good. I think you try to do this one. If they have pony tater tots. And tips today I made $17 and some change.
Oh, turn up.
I made no. I had some $4 in credit and some change.
I had $18.59 in credit and $20 in cash.
No, like it was really
You ain't
slow.
never had a friend like me.
Nope. It was so slow today that
Get out.
that Alyssa got let go early. We're all just chilling and talking while we're cleaning up.
Of course she did. Because she does everything but her job.
Who?
Alyssa.
Alyssa got let go early. She was a factory today.
That shit go crazy, y'all.
Never hardly had any business after it rained.
Yeah, it's about to go down, man. So I don't know if you heard, but Gary Coleman's ex-wife just failed a lie detector test about his fatal fall when he died. They basically asked her, did she have something to do with it? And she said no, and it ended up being a lie.
What?
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you know, but for a long time, a lot of people were saying that she had something to do with it.
I don't remember his death.
Remember, he had fell down. I think he fell down the stairs.
Hey.
I don't remember.
Like, if you remember when he died, he had fell down the stairs, or he had a fall, and people were saying that it was fishy and something wasn't wrong because people were saying that she was abusing. And he was found with a lot of scars on his body, but
That's sad.
her new nigga
Oh Lord.
is a black nigga, and I guess he was suspect, and he been asking questions. He told her that you got to take a lie detector test, and she took it for him, and she failed, and it's on camera.
But you gotta ask yourself, why is the new nigga feeling the need to have redemption for Gary Coleman? How do you feel about her? Is she suspect around you?
Probably.
Has to be, because why are you questioning his death enough that you're asking her for a lie detector death on his death? So she may be funny style.
She could have said a few things around him that make you
right,
question her.
exactly, that make you feel
Don't make me do you like I did my last one.
Right, because he's the new relationship. There should be no question. Unfortunately, the man is deceased. He's moved. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If y'all are discussing this, then there's a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So we both enough for we both enough for a time.
So when I look at that shit like, damn. So what they said, according to the reports, Gary Coleman's ex-wife, Shannon Price, failed a lie detector test about her role in the former child star 2010 death, reigniting long-standing speculations that she may have caused it. On an A&E lie detector, Truth or Deception. So she was on a show called Truth or Deception. Price was asked, did you physically cause Gary's fatal fall? And did you physically cause Gary to fall that day? She answered no to both. The results are you failed the exam with deception and indicted to those relevant questions. The examiner said in a sneak peek, you failed to exam regarding Gary's fall. You understand that? So let's see what let's see about Shannon Price, man. Because sometimes you learn more about a person by just doing your research on the person. Who is Shannon Price? Who is Shannon Price, y'all? Let's see who the hell is Shannon Price. Shannon Price. Shannon Price. There she goes. Oh, she's an actor too. She's an actor. Shannon Price was born August 28th, 1985 in the USA. She's an actress known for Divorce Court, 1999. Oh, so she was on that show Divorce Court. Remember with the dude? That's your show, man.
Divorce Court.
Oh no, that's Night Court, right? So she's known for actress known for Divorce Court in 1999. She was on Gary 2004 and Gary I Knew.
Well, what do we know her for?
So she was married with Gary, married him in 2007, 2008. She was in a movie, The Gary I Knew. Her brother name is Sean Price. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see. Did she get his inheritance? Wow. Oh, Coleman's friend Anna Gray, the chief of his corporation, as the state executive only beneficiary. So what did Price get? It say Coleman's will drafted in 2000 named Price as his sole heir. What's that?
Heir.
Yeah, what does that mean? Oh, that replaced a 2005 that was named Coleman's friend Anna Gray, the chief state administrator. So she did get everything. So Price got everything. She got everything. Wow. So she got everything, and she was responsible for his fall.
Well, it says at the time of his death, Coleman's net worth was just over $75,000.
Wait, damn. At the time of his death in 2010, Gary Coleman's net worth was estimated to be just over $75,000. This is despite him being one of the highest paid child actors of the United States, earning an estimated $18 million through his career, according to Yahoo. What? The significant disparity between his earnings and his final net worth is attributed to a combination of factors, including mismanagement of his income during his childhood and financial struggles in his later years.
Yeah, remember he had lost a lot of money. And then it says right now, Shannon Price is currently living in her father's house in Utah. Reportedly lost her home after Coleman's death. So I don't know how much she really came up on.
So she thought she was going to come up.
Fuck around.
She thought she was going to come up.
Wow.
And Anna Gray was his ex-girlfriend. So after his passing, both his ex-wife Shannon Price and his ex-girlfriend Anna Gray had placed claims on his estate. Coleman and Price had gone through a divorce in secret in 2008, but the relationship remained hot and cold, leading to Price living in Coleman's home regularly. So she was divorced with him. At the time she was living with him. They had a secret divorce. Wow. Wow. So that's why she tried to get rid of him, because she knew she was still on the wheel. Even though she had the secret divorce, she knew she was still on the wheel. Wow.
Look at God. Now you're at home with your dad. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I can't believe her, yo. Yo, she different. A&E just cracked the code. A&E just cracked the code, y'all. A&E just cracked the code. Let's see this, y'all. Because you know one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get to the bottom of it. Let's show the people and see what y'all think about this shit. It's only right that we show the people. Y'all shared a lot.
On the critical questions.
Correct. The exam had to do with Gary's fatal fall.
Okay.
I asked you the following relevant questions on this test. Did you physically cause Gary's fall?
Mm-hmm.
You answered no.
Right.
I also asked you, physically cause Gary to fall that day? No. And the results are, you failed that exam to those relevant questions. Let me say that again. You failed the exam regarding Gary's fall.
Do y'all see her face? Do y'all see her face when they say you failed those questions to Gary Fall? Come on. Do that look like somebody you could trust? Do that look like somebody you could trust, dog?
That's probably why she's sitting there taking a lie detector in the first place. That man is probably saying, does this look like a woman you could trust?
She don't look like a woman you could trust at all. The fact that she acting like ain't nothing wrong with this shit. You don't see nothing wrong. But she ain't say, no, that's impossible.
She
I
said,
would never.
hmm.
She said, like she like, damn, y'all figured it out? Really? It's mighty funny how this new dude is looking at her like, I need to know. Look, I need to know the truth. Can I get the truth? I need to know, bitch. You been giving me some hints around this motherfucker. You've been saying a few things. You've been saying a few things, and I need to know what the fuck going on. Hold on, somebody just sent me this. Hold on, somebody just sent me some. Hold up. Hold up, y'all. Hold up, we got messages, man.
Look at this. She clobbered him over the head.
It just solidified, nigga, man. It's all I kept about. Then I said, man, last time come on over there and tell no lie. Man, Lord, you know what the fucking right this shit for. Real talk, man. My paper say I keep money and I don't play no game. Put your fucking ass in the club, shut up, talking to me. Man, it just solidified, nigga, man. Let you know I wasn't caring about it. Then I said, man, last time come on no app and tell no lie. Hey, Lord, you ain't no snitch, you don't know motherfucker right there. Who give a fuck? Real talk, man. My paper say I keep money and I don't play no games. Put your fucking ass in the club, shut up, talking to me.
I see. Yeah, that shit crazy, y'all. This shit crazy.
That's crazy. How she been able to keep that secret for a long time. She's a fool to be taking this damn lie detector test. Especially if she knew she had something to do with it. Why are you taking a lie detector?
So what? So what? Squares, man. They don't understand.
DG, what up? Nah, she should have never took that lie detector
Right, what
test.
kind of fool are you? Like a person that knows that they're guilty or they could be possibly suspicious, and you know that, you're the ex or the secret wife, you're going to be the first to be looked at. I mean, I'm surprised that this is the first lie detector test. Why would somebody not think to administer?
Because you can't just make somebody take a lie detector.
No, you can't make them, but I mean,
she didn't have to take it.
Yeah, but
you know how females do? They be dicks. This happened over 15 years ago. Shit, now she want to prove a point to this man. I can prove to you. Things start happening. Now she start talking. Now she fuck. Dumb and Dumber. Now she just opened up a case.
Right, that's what you did.
Because guess what? Ain't no what's the name on murder? Let me say that again. Ain't no what they call that? Statute of limitations on murder. Ain't one. They could come back as long as they motherfucking want.
And this lie detector test is enough.
So Carnival is switching the whole game up, y'all. Carnival must have got the backlash. They must have been seeing all the backlash going around with all the white people talking, saying that they wasn't gonna be coming to their motherfucking cruise.
Right, it's bad for business.
And because of that, Carnival has now upped their motherfucking prices on y'all. And they changed a few rules that the passengers are saying aim straight towards black people. Well, guess what? Just a week ago, y'all was saying this cruise is just for black people.
Mm-hmm.
You see how you stick your foot in your mouth? This is just for black people. And this is cheap for us. And
Instead
girls,
of saying
they
it's
play all
affordable,
of
yeah, you made it seem like it was the spot. It's the hood.
You motherfuckers got on YouTube and gave them all the reasons why black people get on this cruise, right?
Mm-hmm.
And guess what Carnival did? Guess what Carnival did? Took away all them fucking things that you told them was the reasons why black people get on this cruise.
Right.
We get on this cruise because they got the best DJ, and where can you go where they gonna play Little John and the East Side Boys? And guess what Carnival said? We will not be playing hip hop music no more on the Carnival cruise. We will be playing music that fits all demographics. Guess what they said? You will not be allowed to come on the dance floor with the fans.
Mm-hmm.
You know the little fans and the little stuff. Now you can't even be on the dance floor with the fans. Who the only one use the fans? Black people. White people don't get hot.
No, shut up. Stop. Because I see a whole lot of white people that wear it around their neck. And elderly people do it too.
Well, they can't take it to the club no more.
Well, that's dumb because people get hot and a lot of people do that. But I think what they should do is definitely up the... It's hard because where you make things affordable for people for everybody to, be able to travel and take advantage of that, you have people that are low class that don't know how to behave, that destroys the whole trip. Just because like someone said, just because it's affordable doesn't mean it has to be low class. And people brought their low class ass up on these boats and they showed all of it. They don't know how to behave on land, let alone on the water. They get out there, they start fighting. They're dirty. They act like they have entitlement of someone to clean up after them. Remember the woman was talking about how they were leaving towels and shit out in front of the door as if, this is not a small walkway. These are cabins. You know what I'm saying? Not huge hotel rooms. So, I mean, it's sad. It's sad that, where people are already struggling to make ends meet. We were just talking about that, to make ends meet. Now, if I decide to take what little bit I have left and take a decent vacation and treat myself, that's now going to be back unaffordable. And I got some class. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you
this to the people.
Let me ask y'all this, man. And y'all let me know in the comments. Will this hurt the Carnival cruise now if they lose us as their business? Because sometimes trying to be like, sometimes if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? And there's a lot of companies that did the same thing they did and tried to push us out and ended up going bankrupt and losing their whole company. We was watching something the other day where it was a company that tried to push something out, and then when they tried to roll it out, it ended up losing their whole company and going to bankrupt. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you trying to push us out, us people, when we actually support you, can actually hurt your business.
Well, look at it this way. People have been cruising for a very, very long time. And like that woman said, she's been cruising for almost over 20 years. 20 years. Now here comes Tisha, just came up on some income checks. And this may be 1 or 2 rides for Tisha. That's not a longevity customer. So they're looking at it like, hey, customers that have been with us consistently for 30 years and now saying they don't even come back. To where you only probably going to come back maybe a few times out of your lifetime to ride on Carnival. You get what I'm saying? So people, you think, well, they want quality over quantity. I'd rather have good luxury rides with people and keep the company that we've been having, because that's been working, versus having a bunch of people run on here, have accessibility, and destroy what
But have we not been making our go-to vacation now? Now that's been the African American now, since it's so cheap. Before we couldn't afford cruises. Now it's at the point where we can afford it. So this is our go-to vacation. We going on the Carnival. We going on
right. But we ourselves represent ourselves as less classy. We're not taking the discounted rates and taking the ships, getting on the ships and enjoying ourselves like civilized people. They're up there acting the fucking fool, like it's like they're at the club. And they feel like, I paid, so I'm entitled. That's what I'm saying. There's no There's no class about the person. It's really not about how much you can afford. Because if a rich person can, whether they got it or not, they can. It's affordable to buy. But they're coming on there with a demeanor that is not of what the cruise line wants to represent, and it's going to drive away business. Just like you don't want to live in the hood because of the same bullshit that you see. You go out to other developments and other areas. So why am I going to come here and want to be subjected to this on the boat and be confined here with the likes of these people? So unfortunately, when it comes to us, cheap also means classless. It means we don't know how to behave around mixed company. We show our ass. We show up with the whole family and we leave in diapers and shit and all types of garbage around the boat. Like somebody's there to just clean up after you.
Let's see what she got to say, y'all. Y'all shit alive. Y'all know what time it is, man. It's your boy Gangsta Cat, man. And I got the lowdown for the lowdown. And this is where it goes. Damn.
Does not have to worry about me. They do not have to worry about me. We got the message loud and clear. We are not your demographic anymore. So y'all, I was supposed to be going on a Carnival cruise. Well, Carnival has decided they want to rebrand. They don't want to be known as the Turn Up Cruise no more. The budget friendly cruise no more. They want to be, I don't know, I guess they want to be royal. When people book Carnival, they know what they are booking. They know they are booking a turn up cruise, period. Everybody on there is looking to have a good time, party, and have fun. We know what type of people are on there. And it's like anywhere there's going to be like alcohol, things might get a little rowdy. That just comes with the territory of people being drunk. It has nothing to do with like, you know, being black, being this, the music. But these people done banned the fans. They saying no more hip hop music. So child, that was the whole purpose of us going. So now we are not going back to the drawing board because no ma'am. Carnival.
Back to the drawing board. The clear indication of how she's speaking, because she's claiming to be part of that demographic. So you was ready to go on there, act the fuck up, get lit, turn up on the dance floor. So you're exactly what they're saying they don't want. So that's fine. They have a right to say, I don't want, and that demographic unfortunately needs us. But that means now, because now you're not interested in going. This talks about mindset because you can't do those things. Mm-hmm. Shame. So then you don't need to go. Keep your ass at home.
And not only that, like I said, when you gave them exactly what they needed, it was almost like giving somebody a quiz and they gave you the answers, and the quiz was about yourself.
Right. It was about yourself, because instead of being like, damn, they are being more, it's more accommodating to your lifestyle. Instead of you coming and having a good time and really enjoying your trip, you showed that you couldn't manage. And yes, alcohol brings out the worst in black, white, wherever it is. It's just a spirit juice. But now that they've accommodated, they've lowered their prices to allow more people to have it accessible. They play more music to be inclusive. We can't fucking behave.
What is TikTok? People's
marketing
and a social experiment.
Right.
Everybody say TikTok is marketing and a social experiment, right? So if I put somebody out there who I'm using as a social experimenter, and I say I want you to make a video on TikTok and start talking about, right, why Carnival is better than every other carnival, right? And then I'm gonna have somebody else make a video and speak on why they would never go on Carnival, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to create a discussion on TikTok, and both of these going to go viral. And we creating it. We probably paying for these posts and boosting these posts. You said why? Because we want to create the conversation to the masses, and we want people to speak on, because we want to know why we lose money, why we ain't at the top like everybody else. We think it's because we just ain't that good, or but it's a social experiment. And then guess what we do? Guess what the black people do? We tell on ourselves. And then we say, oh, the reason we like to, so they have the black girls say, why are we going to, oh, we going on a cruise because you could turn up. And they want her to say that, right? Just so all the black people could start making TikToks and videos and saying, hell yeah, it's cheap to get on this motherfucker. And we gonna bring our drink, and they ain't checking us at the door. Oh, and when they play the DJ that's gonna play the hip hop music, They telling you all the flaws. They telling you everything why we like it because they do this, that, and that. So if you are marketing and you're a CEO guy, what is the first thing you're going to do? You're going to change everything that they're telling you that they like so you can change the geographic of people that's coming on your ship because they're not going to come if this is not here.
Right. Now, see, the thing about that is that the feedback is what's important. They're getting feedback from the newcomers who are telling everyone to come on aboard at Carnival and turn up because this is what they got, X, Y, and Z. And then you have the feedback of people who have been, patron customers for many years. And they're like, hey, this is not something that I like. I no longer want to go there. Now I'll pay the extra and go over to Royal or Viking. I'll no longer be a customer of Carnival.
And they created a conversation.
So now as a business, you're looking at it. You don't never want to see the reasons why you're losing business. And unfortunately, it's a demographic of people that are promoting this. It's bad because of course everybody's looking for a good time. You want to feel comfortable around your people. You want to turn up, but the problem with us is we don't know how to act. So now that listening to hip hop music causes you to get a little bit too crunk.
Don't they say that in a regular club? Hip hop music and certain music you play cause issues. Don't they? The vibration in music cause a problem. So if you on the ship and you causing certain vibrations, you got a whole bunch of black people, and with liquor, you're going to cause some shit, right? And so they basically telling you, because we know who creates the conversation. Carnival. Let's keep it real. Carnival was the one who put these two people to do these videos. You had one video, you had one saying what they like about it and why everybody go. You had one video of an old white lady saying why she would never go on, why to stay away from Carnival, and why you shouldn't go. And if you don't want to, if you want, you know what I'm saying? So they gave you two biased sides and then let everybody post their opinions. And then they sat back, gathered the information, and then changed their rules and then put a big ass statement out and said we will no longer be allowing y'all to have fans in the dance floor. So basically everything you niggas was talking about on TikTok saying that the reason y'all like, they took away. Ooh, you will no longer be able to have hip hop music. It's almost like they sent all y'all motherfucking resume and said, tell us what you like. And then took all y'all likes and turned it around and said, haha, we won't do this no more. Don't book here, bitch. The irony of this shit. And now they talking about, oh, that's fucked up. I want my money back. No, y'all should have shut up. Who goes to Master and tell Master why you having a good time? Master, we love it here on this plantation. Well, why you love it here on this plantation? Oh, Master, because you forget to turn off the electricity at 11 o'clock at night. No, Master, you let us walk around and eat the leftover foods. But well, guess what? You won't be doing that no more. Won't be doing that no more, y'all.
Okay, so
they gonna have a curfew. Carnival switching everything up, dog. Carnival switching everything up. The rules is wild. They giving these niggas a curfew, y'all.
So Carnival is diffusing that. So can you read it?
What you say?
So basically it says Carnival Line has responded to the rumors about the rules for guests after multiple documents have been circulating online with claims of strict updates. Because I just looked at the updates. Okay. So I guess people are taking to social media. So So some of the rules in the document include 1 a.m. curfew for minors unless accompanied by adults 21 years of age.
Can you just read it? So
that's what it is.
You don't
That's
have
what
the
it
whole
is.
document? Because I'm
No,
looking
it's
at a
not.
whole document right here.
Okay. Yeah, and this is from Carnival, so that's what they're diffusing. That there's no, so you can't have fans. They're eliminating like heating element things, loud music, of course, CBD or THC. They don't want any boggers anymore, decorations. So I don't know how that necessarily just affects Black people, but okay. And the curfew they're stating is only for minors.
So on this, we see. Let me see what it got on here, y'all. All right, so on here we got a curfew. It says children must always be supervised. Children must always be supervised, y'all. Now we know children ain't gonna always be supervised on a motherfucking cruise ship. Let's be honest. Supervised how? The kids ain't going everywhere the parents go. Not on the cruise trip. That's the whole point of taking a cruise trip. So you could do your kids could go have fun. Hopefully they got locations for the kids. Who walks around with their kids all day? So that's crazy. That's crazy right there. Children must always be supervised. Guests 17 and under must be out of public areas by 1 a.m. Ooh. Guests 17 and under must be out of public areas by 1 a.m. unless accompanied by an adult 21 years of age or older from their traveling party. This is strictly enforced. Guest corridors, please refrain from running, making noise, including shouting, screaming in hallways, since doing so disrupts other guests who may be residing, sleeping in their rooms. Personal devices. For safety reasons, public announcements must be heard by all guests and crew. Coincidentally, guests must use earphones when listening to music or watching shows, movies, or personal devices such as mobile phones, tablets, and laptops in public spaces. All speakers and radios are prohibited and will be confiscated. Ooh. Handheld fans and beverages. For safety reasons, handheld fans are not prohibited in the nightclub or any indoor dance floor, and additional beverages are not allowed on any dance floor. Illegal narcotics, marijuana, including cannabis and its varieties of illegal substances, are unwillingly and strictly prohibited on board. Do not attempt to purchase or use any illegal substance ashore, as you may be arrested and not allowed back on a board. Oh, smoking of any kind and undesignated areas such as the rooms and balconies is strictly prohibited. Smoking violations and any willful or neglect act of discharge or release of any unauthorized items overboard will result in a $500 charge per violation. Additional reimbursement costs for damages destroying Carnival property will be posted to the guest account. Any guest who violates these policies and whose conduct affects these comfort, enjoyment, and safety well-being of other guests or crew will be fined, dismarked, and any other expenses banned or selling on Carnival. Wow. Wow, y'all. This ain't no motherfucking joke. They is not playing with these motherfuckers. So they saying these rules it's not right.
There is nothing wrong with those rules. The only one that I think is ridiculous is the fan on the dance floor because it's hot as hell and you're enclosed with a lot of people in those nightclubs. Other than that, monitoring your children, yes, we just watched a baby fall off of a boat, right? And the father jump in the rescue.
Yeah, but they said 17 under.
No, for the minors, because they don't want the children running around. It's understood. It's wet. People are in and out of pools, and you should be supervising your child. If you don't, they have playrooms and other rooms on the boat. That's why you
I need a playroom for a 17-year-old?
No, now a 17-year-old after 1 p.m. Who cannot be in the main corridors after 1 p.m.
Without a doubt. But they said also he can't be by himself and walk off. He has to be accompanied with a adult.
After 1 p.m.
No, before 1 p.m.
Can you pull that document, please?
Children must be always supervised. Doc. You see that? Doc. Children must always be supervised. Doc.
Right. Guests 17 and under must be out of public areas
by 1 a.m. That's a whole different sentence.
Yes. But that's we're referring to.
That's not
children.
referring to
We're
that.
not talking to minors. We're talking about the 17-year-olds. They cannot be in the main corridors. I'm saying the sentence. 17-year-olds. I'm rereading the sentence. It says guests 17 and under must be out.
That's a whole new sentence, not a run-on sentence.
What I don't understand what you're saying.
It says
that's already established. Children must be supervised.
Established. That's what I was saying.
Yes, we understand.
But what I'm saying is, so basically, you're telling me my 17-year-old has to be supervised at all times. So he has to be accompanied by the adult at all times.
If they are considered minors, then they would have to be supervised.
A 17-year-old.
Right. So if they're considered minors and they're not considered adults, like how some states say that they're adults, if they're considered minors, then the boat would be saying, yes, they need to be supervised.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Nobody's arguing with you. We're agreeing with each other. I understand that.
Nobody's saying you arguing.
So then what are you trying to say?
What I'm
reiterating, and all I did was want to see the sentence. I said exactly that.
And I'm making it very clear for the people to iterate so they can understand.
Okay, yeah.
The book, they basically saying, they're very clear with what they're saying. They're saying that children must be always supervised. Yes. And then they put a period. When they do that, that is not a run-on sentence. And they basically saying, children must be always supervised.
Right.
Then they start by saying guests 17 and under must be out of public areas by 1 a.m. unless accompanied by a 21-year-old or older.
Yes. This is not unreasonable. Because after 1 a.m., usually people are drinking and it's nightlife, right? And even though you're on a boat, there should be some levels of this. Why?
That's not unreasonable.
Right. So those are things. So the fan to me is the only thing. Loudspeakers, we play music on the boat. So for people that are sitting and engaging, I may not want to hear your explicitly or sexually idealized music while I'm relaxing on the boat. You have to respect the other patrons. This is not your personal yacht.
It's unreasonable to say children always need to be supervised.
That's a safety thing. Yes, you should supervise your children.
That should state a specific age. That should, because my 16-year-old shouldn't have to. They literally left that with blur, so they could be the ones that dictate who should be supervised.
Right. So they're counting anything under 17 and under is considered a minor to them. Now, granted, you can have teenagers who are running. 18 you can have teenagers that the reason why they're saying that because it is your responsibility to watch your child. It is not the boat. It's not a free for all. And remember, if they're having an issue and they're addressing that, then there could be a lot of teenagers running frequently around the boat doing that thing. Right. So, but that goes back to the parent. So now they're reiterating to the parent on the boat. Your children need to be supervised at all times.
Let me tell you something.
If something happens, that's a liability.
Let me ask you. You think on these other cruises, these white folks don't get on these cruises and they teenage kids don't go off and do their thing?
You got to remember, we're talking about our demographic. No, that's what it's about. We're talking about our demographic. So where those white kids got a lot more class and they go out there because they got the money and the access, they may not be getting down like that. Remember, we're complaining because they're targeting our demographic, not the white kids. The white kids been getting on these boats for a long time, and they ain't never probably said the kids need to be supervised. Now we bringing our badass teenagers, and the niggas is walking around with their swim trunks half off their ass, and they doing shit on the boat that they ain't got no
I
business.
understand that.
So this is it's our
Okay, I
demographic
understand
that they're
that.
targeted. So you have to watch your kids if you
I
come on
understand
Carnival.
that, but
However
my
many
job
you bring,
right now
pay
is
attention.
my job is to point out the discrepancies in the two and what these people are saying.
It is
and why
because they don't want to watch their kids. They want to sit at the bar and get fucked up and let their kids roll around. They want to play their music loud on their Bluetooth speaker and play what they want while they sitting at the pool drinking.
I bet you these
they
other,
want
I
to pull
bet you
them
those
fans
other
out
cruises,
and get down
I
with
bet you
the
those
cruise.
other,
They doing all
I
that.
bet you them other cruises ain't got these
I
type
bet
of
you
rules.
they don't. They
You know
don't.
what
But
I'm saying?
unfortunately, they targeting us with saying these types of things. Because one, you shouldn't have to tell anybody to supervise their kids. When the person, because of safety, I would not want my children out of my sight on a cruise line, and I don't know what's happening. That's not a joke. So that shouldn't be. It's a shame that they got to reiterate shit like that.
But I thought that's what you do on a cruise.
No, you don't just let your kids run free. That's crazy.
Say something. I thought that's what people do on a cruise. If I'm booking a party and we come in, most people take family reunions on cruise. Most people take a big family and it's everybody. You got 15 people and you got kids. Sometimes the kids go. They go. We're not walking around the cruise with our kids all day, and wherever the kids go, I go. Now understand if you got little babies, 4 years old, 3 years old, 5. But if you got 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, they are running around this cruise and having a good time, just like the adults. They've been doing it for years. You ask anybody, they've been doing it. You ask anybody that take trips with their kids, 12, 14, 15, they'll tell you they're not walking around with their kids and telling them, hey, we're about to go. Come on, kids, let's go. They're moving around the shit.
But they're targeting our quote-unquote demographic. And they're saying you don't have any control of your kids. They need to be in your sight. Small, medium, or big. Because this has been an issue.
But
and why do we know this is an
issue? They're attacking us on these cruises now.
We are attacking. That is a blank thing. You should be watching your kids. This is not a fight back. You should not be letting your kids just move around a cruise line and saying, meet me like that. That is so dangerous. Like I said, there's so much going on a cruise line. There's so many people from different walks of life walking around. So even if you've done it, it is dangerous. And no one should tell you to supervise your children. No one should. That should be a given. That should be a given. Where are you? You're out of my sight. My child, my 14-year-old could be drowning off of another pool and I'm sitting chilling. That is a danger. Just because people do it doesn't mean that it's right. That's why they're able to come back and say, because if people were supervising them, there'd be nothing to address.
I don't think no one is going on a cruise and following their teenagers around and telling their teenagers, you follow me everywhere I go.
No, they weren't, because they had a different class of people that knew how to behave. Now you don't, and now you have to go back to the basics and say, parents, this is where they have to be. After 1 o'clock, no one under 17 should be out in the public corridors because this is adult time. After 1 p.m., usually adult things are happening. So no, you should not have them out at this time. They should be in the cabin sleep if there's no children or event things going on. These are common knowledge things. It's a shame, and that Black people are saying, oh, there's attack on our demographic. Shame on you, because is that what you're saying comes with our demographic? That we can't supervise our kids? We don't know how to, keep our music low or in our phones when we're sitting around amongst mixed people?
Nope.
You don't know how to behave, that we have to bring out simple things like that? Like, it's crazy. Now, the vlogging thing, I think, is they're bringing that to a stop. They don't want that or decorations.
So they don't want people vlogging?
No, they don't want vloggers. That's part of their list. That's why I said this list. I mean, if you say it targets Black people, whatever, that means you got some shit.
So they're going to get rid of all the vloggers.
Right. So they don't want vlogging on there anymore, possibly because of the bad luck that Carnival has gotten with being able to give that feedback, because it does hurt your pocket, like I said, with people who have been on Carnival for many, many years that are not coming back because they don't want to be sitting there with the whole 20 crew that came with the matching fucking t-shirts.
So now you can't vlog. They see you with that camera. You got to turn it off.
Right. They don't want decorations anymore.
Decorations? What do you mean by decorations?
Decorating cabins or areas for parties. I guess that has got, well, you know how decorations.
So what, they would decorate their own their own room?
Well, I think
or you can't decorate your room.
Yeah, they don't want decorations on there no more. I don't know how elaborate that's got, but you know, nowadays with social media, you know what I'm saying, people are bringing in fucking props into the room. That's what I'm saying. Things are getting out of control. Why do I know? Because I'm watching these chicks take their fucking trips. All you gotta do is watch YouTube. And so, you know, like I said, some of the things that they're asking is not far-fetched. It's not hard.
And some of that shit sound crazy.
The fan is the only.
So if it's my birthday, and it's your birthday, I want to decorate the room for you that I'm sleeping in, that I paid for. I can't do that.
Right? They don't want anything.
That's crazy. That sounds crazy to me.
It's not your fucking place. So then don't take them in.
I'm just saying, that sounds crazy.
But then if you
they doing that because all the black people was in there turning up and decorating the room and having a good time.
Right, because they're bringing the fucking stands. Keep on watching this shit.
Man, you can't bring no stand. I don't think they bring a stand. Now you doing too much. Well,
no, it is. Whole banners. They're bringing props, and it's because you want your pictures for social media. People are bringing freaking film crews and all types of shit with their vlogging. It's a whole lot of shit going on. So people is turning up, and it's the fucking club at night on the water. So they don't want it anymore. And they're an establishment that has the right to say, this is what we want to represent, and this is how we want to run our business. And if it doesn't apply to you, you know, that it doesn't apply to you. But I don't think it's a, you know, we get caught up in cheap and low class as black people, and it's really unfair because not all black people are behaving like that, and they just want to take an expensive trip and enjoy themselves. And now they got to pay a little bit more and go over to Royal or Virgin or Viking.
Man, so it's about to get crazy, man, for Dwight Howard, man. Y'all know how this shit go. So she filed for divorce. What was his first wife's name or baby mother name? What's her name? That was trying to put a dent in this marriage before it even was about to get started.
Mm-hmm.
Royce.
Oh, Royce.
Royce was trying to put a dent in this marriage before it even started, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how they even managed to get married. But now she want 50% of everything. And they was only together married for 6 months.
Who is this, Amy?
Yep.
Wow, I don't... Listen.
6 months.
I would be remiss to say that I think this was strategic because Amy is not stupid. She's a businesswoman. She get money. Like, why, Amy? This was not something you had to do. So what was the motive behind? Because you done heard everything about this man. Royce had laid out all of his secrets. Other people have laid out his secrets, and then you got engaged and married. What, ma'am?
She wanted that dough,
ma'am. Exactly. Because, like I said, she's already about her business. It's not like she's trying to run for the bag. She wanted her bag to get bigger. I ain't mad at you, girl, but I'm just saying this was like. This was like, wow. And how did he not see this? Like, I don't know.
He thought he had somebody that was going to let him, like, go both ways and play both sides and not be mad.
Wow. Okay.
Like, you know, a nigga think he got it.
But, you know, to me, this was a stunt anyway. This came after, it seemed like their relationship started to announce after Royce was doing all of those interviews once again, bringing up his sexuality and all of that stuff. And then boom, because you know she's on Love and Hip Hop. Then boom, all of a sudden, like now they're dating and she wanted to keep it a little secret. You know how the celebrity world works. Mm-hmm. And then boom, it gets exposed and now they're at games together. Now they're engaged, now they're married, and now you're getting divorced.
And then you got niggas hitting. You don't know how many people was in her DM. Let's be real. People was probably in her DM left and right. You know, I was with him sending pictures. You know how these niggas do? You know, and they said he had real boyfriends.
But you know, I mean...
And the way Royce was telling him... Mother private. And the way Royce was telling him...
I heard it right.
The way Royce was telling him, man, Royce was telling him like they was trying to get her to do a threesome.
You step up on one more time.
Mm-mm.
That's what I'm saying, man. He was better off marrying Royce. That's why I said, they tell you at when you're young, it's cheaper to keep her.
Well, remember she said at one point she was considering being a throuple in the house and staying, remember? And, he was there, and I guess some other chick was there. And that was the night she said something happened and she felt really weird.
No, they tried to get her to do it.
Yeah, she was taking drugs, took a nap, woke up, and then seen something on the balcony, went running, got her son, and ran out. Was real uncomfortable about some shit.
She probably seen him butt naked with another dude. On the balcony, they probably was on the balcony smoking, and she came upstairs and saw him and another dude ass naked on the balcony. She probably was like, "Oh shit, let's go." She probably was shot and she probably blew him up.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Amy, I'm pretty sure has heard these stories, but like most people, you probably throw it to the side and be like, "No, people just talking."
She could have been getting paid like Diddy was paying his girls
like
just to shut up. Yeah, be my sugar boo. But
that's how I felt it was.
That's not a lot of these celebrities do.
Divorce could just be that. And I say that because it is so hard to try to maintain the image, especially for a man when if they. I mean, I'm not saying that people are lying, but that's his lifestyle.
But just keep it real. Hard. It's hard for a man to keep to hold his image when he like his booty. Keep it
right because that's his lifestyle.
Some of these niggas
people
like
say the same thing about Birdman. Everybody talking about him, and then getting
bro. What do you think Birdman was doing though when he was kissing all his artists? What do you think? What message you think he was giving out to the world? You think people need to understand there's subliminals to everything. Sometimes you can't get into certain rooms, right? And I can't walk up to this man and say, "Yo, man, I will kiss if you gave me the opportunity to kiss," right? It's easier for me to just do it.
Sending out smoke
signals. It's
easy. People know that you're open.
It's easy for me to do it on TV. It's even for me to do it on a TV on a platform and show the world. And have everybody talking about, "Oh shit, Birdman kissed this nigga," and then have it in a picture, right? And then guess what? Now people who kiss other niggas, right? What you think they gonna do? The ones that's at that top level that kiss niggas, they gonna be like, "Come here, your phone gonna start ringing." Mm-hmm. So it's really a form of motherfucking reverse psychology, my nigga. Just like when Nas X came out and he told everybody he was on something, what happened? His phone blew up. He became even a bigger superstar. Why? Because now people that's in that lifestyle want to know you. They want to meet you. They want to indulge in you. They want to get to know you.
Clay showed me some of his old music. Nothing like the image that he has now. The music even sounds different. But he might have been with someone, that they knocked on the door and he probably didn't have a. Some people have a sexual. You know what I'm saying? They
found him from SoundCloud,
but
he was on SoundCloud.
Completely different from the.
He made that song on SoundCloud, created the song, and they found him and they turned him up. They said the whole story. He was like, they turned him up. He became a sensation overnight. They called off for one song that he made and uploaded on SoundCloud. And people, it went to TikTok and people started dancing to it. Next thing you know, everybody started playing.
Right. Now I'm talking about his image of being as flamboyant and pink and
Oh, he wasn't that. Yeah, he wasn't that flamboyant.
That wasn't.
Yeah, he was flamboyant, but he wasn't like that. They made him real. That. When he came out, they made him real flamboyant.
I guess it sells to those. To those.
And he was with it. He started doing nails and doing all the same shit. But look at Young Thug now. He trying to come back and be in the limelight. Look what he's doing. He's trying to do everything to make. Bro, the nigga been covering his face like Kanye West, going back to wearing dresses, going back to wearing purses. He trying to do the same shit. That's what these niggas. Yeah, they try to make it feel like to let you know that I'm still here. Don't forget about me. I'm still open. Don't forget about me. Sometimes you just don't realize how open these motherfuckers really is.
Dang.
Real talk. Just don't know. These motherfuckers be open tonight. They be open. The Babs and Jay-Z, they want to go at it, I see.
Bad?
What's they called? The Barbie, all the Babs?
Oh, the Barbs? You talking about Nicki Minaj? Her people? The Barbs? They going at Jay-Z?
Yeah, they about to go to war.
What are they saying?
It's just they putting Jay-Z shit out there about his son.
Wow. Wow. Well, isn't he has to take this DNA test now, huh?
So
this should be crazy.
They had a meeting today, y'all. P. Diddy lawyers, the prosecutors, and the judge had a meeting today to discuss sentencing and discuss guidelines. The prosecution is asking 6 to 8 years, y'all. The prosecution the feds has indicated at least 6 to 8 years in prison as judge finalized Diddy's sentencing date. So this is what the judge did not say that they want. I don't see him getting no less than 5. You're looking at two counts. That's 2.5 on each count. So the feds is pushing for 6 to 8 years. That would be 51 to 63 months. What y'all think, man? Y'all think the feds gonna get their wish? They got their wish on the no bail. They didn't get what they wanted on the guilty plea, on the racketeering, and on the RICO, but they praying for this judge to give them what they want on that 6 to 8 years. Remember, I said in the beginning, it ain't about the guilty plea or not. It's all about what he do in the sentencing. Because you could get found guilty, right? And the judge don't give you shit but probation. I seen niggas get found guilty for charges and the judge give them a slap on the wrist. And you be like, damn, well, we sat here in this trial for all this time, went through all this just for you to do that. We wasted our motherfucking time. Y'all could gave him a plea deal for probation. Like, for instance, when the cop killed Botham John, they could have gave her a plea deal for 6 years. Mm-hmm. If y'all was going to give her 6 years in jail after she was found guilty, y'all could have gave her a plea deal. I'm pretty sure y'all could have gave her a plea deal for that. Why'd y'all waste taxpayers' money? Why y'all do all that, bringing people to court, jury, just to give her 6 years in jail when she was found guilty? That's because y'all was hoping she wasn't found guilty. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And being that she was found guilty, then you gave her 6 years. But y'all was on the impression, she ain't gonna find guilty. They're not gonna find that white woman guilty, and she's a police officer. She thought he was a big old black man sneaking in her house. She good. So it's up to that judge. That judge gonna look at P. Diddy and say, I sat here for 6 weeks and I heard some disgusting things. And I saw you abuse this woman. And you know he watched them freak off movies. If the jury watched clips, the judge watched the whole thing. The judge was in his chambers watching all the freak offs. Trust me, when he was looking at Cassie, he was looking from a different view.
That is so embarrassing. And that's why they. And I know
you know what's embarrassing? So you want to know what's embarrassing? What's embarrassing is that while Cassie's sitting on the stand, her secrets and her freak off tapes, she has to know that the judge seen it, the prosecutor seen it, the defense seen it. No, the jury about to see it. They about to see clips because they didn't see the whole thing. They only saw certain clips that they wanted them to see. Mm-hmm. But everybody else, the prosecutors, everybody else, they saw the full shit. The defense attorney saw the full shit. So everybody done saw your sex tape, saw how you suck wee-wee, saw how you take pee. So and mind you, they probably had to go through hundreds of videotapes. They was with you for 10 years. Hundreds of videotapes, probably thousands of videotapes. They just going through just to check your character. See, like, man, them niggas probably was sitting there like this all day. They probably can't watch. They probably know what Cassie pussy look like inside and out.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so you sitting up there, that's why she crying. Y'all think she crying because she went through hurt and shit. No, she crying because she know all them motherfuckers going, then they all see me.
It just never ends. Right. It just
never ends. It's like you opening up a whole nother book of worms. Oh, man. And that's why, now I know why P. Diddy didn't want her husband in the courtroom. Man, you about to hear how I piped her down, how I had her doing a sexathon. My Nick, bro, you heard, bro, I had your wife doing a sexathon, nigga. She was out there and I was using her like a toy, dog. How can you want a woman and want to be with a woman that you found out your wife, the one you had kids with, was basically a sex slave?
But because right now, you know, his emotion going off of the story that she tells him, right? So his perspective is going to be the same as hers, you know, victimized and all of this stuff. But now when you see that she was setting this up, she was making sure the drugs were there, she cussing motherfuckers out, she's staging shit, she's making boss moves, you know, she telling niggas what to do to her. Because they're not giving their direction. She's giving the direction for Diddy, whether he likes it or not, but she knows what to do. So he's looking at it like, oh, so that victimization of you love your wife, but it's like that is a hard pill to swallow. Because that's the side that she couldn't tell you. You get what I'm saying? Her still telling you is not going to be the same as it coming out the way it did in court.
That's what's crazy. That's why I said this shit gonna be crazy. 6 to 8 years, he gonna think real hard. That's why I said. And then he got on his knees in front of the judge and was congratulating himself like he made it, like if he won. So for that alone, you fucked up, my nigga. You jumped up, and then his son, after went and started doing push-ups, took his shirt off outside the street. They playing bad boy music. My nigga, he ain't even been sentenced yet.
Do y'all know something we don't?
He ain't even sentenced
That's
yet.
what I'm saying. Y'all know something we don't. I mean, they free.
Now I was the first one to tell y'all that nigga was gonna beat them charges, and it seemed like something wasn't right because. How you ain't call no witnesses?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Remember I said that, and then what happened? He beat two of the biggest charges. This nigga beat a RICO charge and a motherfucking racketeering charge with no witnesses. Yeah, I don't find something fishy about that. Right. In a federal government case, you beat a racketeering charge and you beat a RICO case. With when you got all these witnesses saying you did da 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 da, you got videotapes. He got caught with guns. He got caught with drugs. None of the charges that would have really put him in jail. This is what y'all need to pay attention to. None of the charges that would have really put him in jail and would have stuck, they charged him for. The guns would have put him in jail. The drugs would have put him in jail. He got caught with this shit, right? Didn't get put in, they didn't charge him for this shit. But the RICO, they charged him for RICO, charged him for racketeering. Why do you think they charged him for RICO and for racketeering? 2 reasons. 1, because we can create a humiliation ritual and we could bring out everything in your discretions. Because when you have a racketeering on somebody, you have to build that racketeering. So you have to show how me and you connect, me and Keith Jr. So you get to tell a whole bunch of stories that that necessarily wouldn't be allowed in a regular case because you say, I object. How is this pertaining to the case.
Mhm.
Well, in the racketeering case, you can't do that because you have to show relevance.
Right.
So,
everybody's
so
linked by-
I'm gonna take you back 10 years ago. How these niggas met in kindergarten, then all of a sudden they met in jail. Now, so they selling drugs. What? They'll do that in racketeering, and so that's one. The second thing is that the only way they could have took his money and took his fortune was to get him on a racketeering.
Right. So that's why they celebrating, because so that's really what they celebrate. Not that he's not guilty, but that pretty much saves that.
That saves
for them.
it saves
Right.
the estate,
Exactly.
saves the money, saves
Right.
the bad boy
So
fortune.
y'all didn't liquidate us like
Yes.
how you wanted to.
Because if he would have got charged with racketeering, then that means that everything he
That he
owned,
made
they would have took
under the money, under racketeering, would be
everything.
taken away.
They took all his fortune.
Right.
Because racketeering, they were saying that he
It's illegal money.
used they were saying that he used Bad Boy Enterprise, all the
Mhm.
companies. So anything
To do a
that's
crime.
pertaining to the company money, and pretty
Mhm.
sure all the cars is under company names, the houses. So he would have lost everything.
Mhm.
They would have took everything. So that's why they happy as hell, because they won that.
Mhm.
So that's two things. But why you didn't charge him for the gun? So that's why I say this was all to teach the nigga a lesson. It was all to smack him on the wrist. It was all to show him that we in charge. But I think he celebrated too early, because all this shit that his son doing, all this shit that he did in the courtroom, now the judge is looking at it like, what the fuck is wrong with these niggas? Maybe you did do it. Maybe you, like it's a certain way that you supposed to celebrate, my nigga. I feel like you supposed to celebrate with couth. Like when you beat a certain charge and you know you innocent, you supposed to act like, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I knew I was innocent. Like, you know what I'm saying? You supposed to move like shit, like if you score a touchdown and you used to scoring touchdowns, like this ain't nothing. I do this on a regular. You supposed to be like, yo. But if you like, oh yes, oh thank God.
Yeah, I keep my money, thank you God. At least I can do this.
You look like
I'm gonna be no
nigga
broke
that
nigga up in this motherfucker. Yeah, I know, I get it. Fucking celebrate.
You look like
because you gonna do time, nigga. And he
and that's the thing I'm saying. You know you gonna do time.
Right,
So what are
yeah.
you celebrating so hard? Where's your
keep
side
some fucking
relief?
money. Those niggas ain't gonna be on the welfare. So they ain't gotta fucking watch all their cars come get repoed. They get to fucking sleep another night at the mansion. Like shit. That's a big deal. Nigga, we were just talking about earlier tonight about people in depression for financial circumstances. Shit, yeah. It's a hard fall when you gotta go back to the fucking maybe not the projects, but a little townhouse. Them shit starts to hurt. So they get to maintain their lifestyle for however long they can, but that option is still there. He probably like, I'll take the jail time if I keep some money.
Well, he better get this shit going, because 6 to 8, here we come.
You think that's gonna be it?
I think he's gonna get 8 years. That's what I think. I would not be surprised if he get 8 years. I would not be surprised. They want 21 to 27 months. Hell no. It's not gonna happen. Hold up. We're about to go in a minute. Man, hold up. Why are you moving so fast? Finishing my show. Girl. Okay. We'll be up at 12. I'm done now. Oh, shit. God damn, she got beat up. Look at this. Look at this. Well, when the last time you seen somebody look like this? Look at this, right here. I can't show this on YouTube. You gotta look at the screen.
Damn. That's not a filter?
It might be, now that I look at it, but that's a fucked up eye.
That shit look crazy.
That shit crazy.
I definitely use that as a picture for work. Tell them I can't come in today.
Oh, that's smart. Hell
I
yeah.
sure do that. Listen, I got robbed.
Nah, that's smart. But I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. It's 12:02. I'm about to get up out of here. I appreciate you, Rob, for rocking with me. Y'all know what it is, man. This your boy Gangsta Cat, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the page. Y'all know what it is. We not rocking with the other side. If you ain't with us, you against us. Fuck them. Feed them fish. You already know.
I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. Yeah, you ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man, I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine. I'm never second guessing, I just do what I was destined. Cause I feel I got the blessing, persistence and obsession. That's how you keep progressing, I already learned that lesson, yeah. I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving. You can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life, and I won't look back ever again. No fear, see clear, you deserve to be great. I know it feels like things get in your way. Push through those walls and the others will fall. Sit up, stand tall, you can get through it all. I need some energy